Share. Top tier. License information. Alright, we live. We think it's a tune in. Sorry, ass Jets. Your window getting small. But you got one more year with them boys. Alley Cats. The more I think about this reboot, man, I ain't gonna lie, Detroit look appealing.
Chill, Rob.
I said chill. You said you want the Eagles. What are you talking about?
It just depends on if you end up getting them or if somebody picked before me. I'm going to the NFC regardless this year.
I want to see who follow Craig to the north. I know he going Steelers. All right, we got managers in here. That's good. Everybody else can catch up. We gonna go in order from which the games was played. You follow him, Craig? Yeah, we already talked about that, of course. I want to see who else is gonna follow him. Who's gonna take them Bengals and who's gonna take them Browns? Who played first, Max? You were? Was it Craig
and what, divisional route?
Yeah, divisional. No, I know exactly. It was because you was playing at the same time as Zada, right? So yeah, I kind of played. So. I want to say Zada and sort of first. So we'll go there first.
Oh yeah, because he got off headset to go play, and I was finishing up my college game before I played Ray.
Exactly. Yeah. So right now this game is screamed out like the numbers ain't screaming out like go crazy. It's screaming out ball control on the Panthers' behalf. 15 first downs to 8. Turnovers. Panthers only had 1 to the Detroit's 5. Goddamn.
There goes the game right there.
Yeah. And even still, it's like, what, 33-21 ain't a huge margin, so it was like...
Yeah, you got somebody who's running the ball 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes of time possession to 8. Looks like Zada simply just gave away the ball too many times to put himself in the situation.
Exactly. And that's where your style of play gets in your way. Like, you go the whole year airing shit and airing everybody. And then you get playoff football with guys who truly know how to run the ball, know how to control that clock. Via Max, via the Panthers, it looks like, and then you give up 1 or 2 extra picks, like, where you think you won't get the ball back, and it ain't happening in the playoffs. It's different. It's a whole different league at that point. But Ryan Tannehill, he had 151 yards in the air, 2 TDs, 5 picks. As long as it was 70, no sacks. 7 for 15 and 46%. Yeah, the main playoff numbers at all.
Yeah, I just feel like if you look at it all year to now, you can't have your worst game of the season in the playoffs. You know, you don't get an opportunity to bounce back and, like, you know, look better next week.
Exactly. Cam Newton went 212 in the air, no TDs, 1 pick. One sack, 58 was the longest throw, 14 of 21, 66%. His numbers ain't gaudy either, but again, he controlled the ball. He didn't turn over. He limited his turnovers, and that was the difference. Brooks had 19 for 91, 2 TDs. Gibbs was kind of neutral last 8 for 43, and no TDs. Receiving yards, Jatavion Sanders had 2 for 80, 0 TDs. Gibbs 2 for 78, 1 TD. Calvin Johnson had 2 for 38, 1 TD. Adam Thielen 4 for 59. You know what that game was. It's like you play that game again, knowing what you know now. I'm pretty sure Zotto will pull that one out. It's not.
And then looks like he threw pick sixes for real. I didn't see enough offensive touchdowns on the Panthers, like offensive shit.
Yeah, I didn't go defense. Let's see.
It looks like he had to have thrown like pick 6 or 2. Yep.
That's his. So Jordan Fuller got one, but he got one back with Jerry Jones. So only really one. Was there a fumble return? No, it was showed up anyway. Yeah, so. Yeah, that's a game that I feel like, I'm saying, because you was unfamiliar with him, his style of play. I feel if you play him again, it's like a whole different ball game. That's my opinion.
Definitely a bit different ball game, but you just gotta read and react faster to the type of nigga you playing. Like, and that's after the second turnover, you gotta respond and know that, like, all right, when I turn the ball over, this nigga's continuing to run the ball, which means like I'm down 2 possessions. If he doesn't score on either one of those extra possessions, cool. But if he does, then you're down like those 2 possessions until you get a stop back.
Yeah. And that leads me to the next game with the Jags and the Steelers, where this guy, he, like, even if he doesn't play you, he studies you via the chat today. I guess that was the butt of the joke of the chat today, I guess. You was watching film or looking up or something.
I guess so.
Well, we know. We all came from the same league. We know it, man. Like, Max is Mr. He film studies. Like, he's gonna watch your games. He's gonna learn your tendencies. He's gonna learn. Like, it's just, that's his game. And that's how he plays. That's how he's successful in the playoffs. But you went off in this game. Only 115 on the ground, 164 in the air. So the numbers ain't gaudy. So it had to be like a turnover fest.
Turnovers and then just stops. Essentially, the game early was just me putting on a real drives, touchdown. He came in. He got 3. Then I responded, touchdown. And then we got a stop or a turnover because he had 3 and I had 0. One of those 2 happened in the second, touchdown. And then touchdown later, turnover later out of Ray out the half. I punt. That's why the third quarter's no points. I get my last turnover / stop, and then I score at the end just for like measurement. But I mean, once the game was, we said on a headset, Ray needed to limit turnovers. He gave me turnovers early. He didn't get any turnovers himself. Took his D line out the game, so it really it put it into like he just needed to get a stop. And the same thing we just said, I had extra possessions, so like he needed to get a stop way more than me because I already had extra 2-3 possessions at that point.
And he probably was like me in my game when I played you. He probably was pressing out after a point, got out of his game plan. And that's probably 2 of the interceptions by itself.
It was just more frustrating, I think, that his D-line wasn't doing anything. It wasn't like he wasn't okay with having a turnover here or there, but with his D-line not being able to produce the same impact as what they were supposed to do. Moving the ball wasn't super hard for me. So
you have a problem running all this playoffs. It's like, get around with shit.
You gotta just think or go back to okay, me as the actual user. If you can't move the ball on me, that's a long game in general. If you can't move the ball on me, or you have to pass, I enjoyed you having to pass. Not that you can't, sure, throw some dots, but now I know that you have to pass. And for Ray, that's just not historically. That's not. He's not gonna come out here and dot me up. Yeah.
Right.
So it just became a little bit of a no long plays and no bombs. Everything in the middle was kind of like it is what it is.
And this is what I mean about your run defense. Look at this shit. Chubb only had 49 yards on 12 carries, man.
Yeah, Chubb. I mean, the focus was always Chubb. That was what my points were. If we can stop Chubb, anybody else but Chubb, I'm comfortable winning the game. That's just where his offensive roster isn't that damning. I think most people, when they go into the game, they really lose against his defense or the inability to move the football.
Right.
Because I mean, besides Chubb, I'm looking at a couple of receivers that like. I just don't need them to make big plays necessarily. As long as they don't make big plays, then we can play football.
Godwin had 3 for 31, no TDs. Calvin Austin got involved 2 for 24, no TDs. Lacey 1 for 22. Godwin 1 for 12, got shut. Yeah.
And it was just a matter of not fucking up and giving him the ball back with momentum.
Right. The next game was played was the Jets and it was the Jets and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
This game was wild. This game was just wild. I mean, Craig had what, a 24-7 lead at that point.
24-7.
And the Jets came screaming back. He attributed that to you talking shit in the chat. He said you got him ramped up. And I don't know, Craig started relaxing, got too comfortable in his game plan, and gave the lead up, man.
I mean, I've been there before, on the side of where Craig is, where you know you're playing playoff football. Obviously, the user that you're playing, if they're there at that point, they're a dog just as much as you. Right. But I do think just he stopped realizing what was working to get him, I guess, throughout the game. And how to bounce off of it. It didn't seem like he was like read and react. It's like he tried to create a whole new game plan, running the ball excessively, and like if you're not going into the game on that, it's gonna be very hard to just flick the switch on and then turn into a butt balling ass nigga. Like that's not something you just cut on unless like you can. Don't get me wrong, but like that's not something you certain people just cut on and like that goes well.
Yeah, it's like a play the game type of thing. Like
it played him out the game. It played him out of his rhythm. It played him out of style. Next thing you know, one stop turned into two stops turned into 2 stops, a pick and a field goal maybe or some shit like that. And now you're realizing that like you just had 3 drives and you didn't do shit with the football.
Yeah. 3 turnovers is uncharacteristic of Craig. He don't really turn the ball
in a playoff, exactly, in a playoff game. So like we're looking at 7-0 the first half, 17-7 going into halftime. Okay, even if he scored first or scored last, 24-21, at that point for him to put up 0 in the fourth, that's just telling me you're not in rhythm. Like obviously Donnie got stops, but like you're not in rhythm because you haven't not scored the whole game. And picking just having the fourth quarter where you don't put up any points is just you're not gonna win a playoff game that way.
Right. And Rodgers had a masterclass day, 304 in the air, 4 TDs, 1 pick. Only 47% on the day, but the numbers could be screwed like that. Josh Allen, 180 in the air, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Like Josh Allen didn't even play that bad. It was just his misthrows was misthrows. He left some shit on the field.
Man, Josh Allen has a lot of those, like where he's like, it'd be simple little 5-yard crossing routes, and he'll like sell the fuck out of the ball, like. And it happened in a few games. One of our games it happened in 2 of our games actually, and then like a couple other streams I watched. He just sells the ball, and I don't get it. Like.
I mean, that's just the real liceness. I think it's kind of the same thing with Lamar. Like, okay, Allen sells throws that are routine throws. Lamar floats some shit, lofts some shit, or throws some shit soft as hell when, like, in reality, that nigga has one of the, like, faster or tougher bullets in the game. But, like, sometimes you do see him do that shit. In the game, they just be on them niggas quick. Like, as soon as you get a little bit of out of rhythm or trying to get in rhythm, Allen will sell some shit, wide open shit. Same shit with fucking Travis. But I think having those moments like that then turn into turnovers for Craig is where the game hurts. Like, a couple incompletes is one thing. He punts. That's the Craig I know. A couple incompletes. Craig forces or tries to do something again, throws a pick. now you're down a
Yeah.
possession and you don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like now you lost a little bit of momentum. That's just not really fully gameplay in Craig. So
Right.
I think Donnie was just more locked into him, especially when he went down 24/7. I think finding ways to come back is a little bit easier than finding ways to keep a lead versus a tough opponent.
Especially with our opponent lets off the gas to play safe. It's like
Yeah, like so
you
he's
still won't
pressing
go,
to
and he's
zeros.
like he's trying to get you
That's
to
why
yeah.
that's why I said him playing the way he did versus just playing like he was trying to beat Donnie. Period. It kind of screwed him because Donnie needed him to make a mistake or to play scared, and he kind of played right into that versus just being confident and saying like, "Yeah, I basically got the win," even if he didn't. Like I just, you up the possessions that you are up 17-7 at that point. You got to be telling yourself that you should have this win secured
Right.
or 24/7. Yeah.
And Squirrel White, that was a comeback right there. 4 for 162, 3 TDs. I mean,
So they're just trying to bomb that nigga.
I seen one down the middle of the field. I want to say he threw a corner route to Keyshawn Johnson. That must be the one catch for a touchdown. It was like a little corner route that was nice as hell, a little dot. Christian McCaffrey, he had a day, and I think that's what it was too. Like you go from beating Christian McCaffrey to like who you trying to force the ball to at this point. You rushing 18 for 71, 2 TDs on the ground, and then receiving wise, he's your leading receiver with 4 for 76.
I just feel like, yeah, where's the flow? Like Reed was touching the ball on really checkdowns. Like Reed is the slot receiver. Checkdowns are in his game, drag or whatever. But like, I think he's really the motion and the offense for real. Christian McCaffrey is just the oblivious answer. Like, obviously you have to stop Christian McCaffrey, but when it gets down to moving the ball up and down the field, I think Andre Reed was what was missing for the Bills for real. But now this right here, I think this is the moment that everybody needs with the AFC. Well, I would say after my game with Ray, because it didn't get much reaction, I don't think many people was thinking about the AFC. It was still obviously down to the big game, Craig and Donnie. Like whoever wins that game is kind of going to be the decider. At that point, the NFC, I think the Lions were the favorite, and the Lions losing to the Panthers obviously turned Toogie into the favorite. And then it kind of harped more on the Packers not winning that game, and then it put it into a matchup of like 2 versus 5 would have been the matchup, Lions versus Packers, and then 1 versus 6 would have been the matchup with the Panthers. So it just, everything would have been very much different in these divisional rounds. It had some things I think played out differently.
Because you don't expect the Browns to fall to the Panthers. I mean, not the Browns, the Buccaneers. You don't expect them to fall to the Panthers. And
so yeah, even starting from there, yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
That Hail Mary, so it could have went crazy. So like, off this game right here, Tug and the Cowboys, they went into their game, and the Cowboys, he just laid an egg. He said, it was just a horrible play. I don't know what happened. 48 rushing yards to Toogie's 145. He had more passing yards, 148 to 107. 13 first downs to 12.
I mean, this just looks like
right there, 4 turnovers.
Yeah, to 0. This looked like Toogie just straight up. I mean, it's a divisional game, 3rd time playing. If they have played both of their matchups, yeah, it just looks like he didn't really recall or pull together everything that worked. Like in a matchup, you see somebody twice a year. I keep a mental note of everything that basically works, like scheme, whatever the case. Show them the shit that you've been showing them, and then obviously you got your next levels. Based off of this, it just looks like whatever he showed them at first, he wasn't ready for, or Toogie was completely ready for. And then when he got the turnovers, he ran the ball, capitalized. He didn't make the game much harder than what it needs to be. I mean, he's got a dog-ass running back in the top of the league. So you get turnovers in a home field advantage game versus a divisional opponent. You don't want to complicate things too much. You just put the ball on the ground and go out there and do what you got to do.
Type shit. Matt Stafford, 105 rating, 116 in the air, 1 touch. Down 0 picks. To KJ Jefferson's 153 in the air, 0 TDs, 3 picks. And you said we horrible. Now I'm talking shit. You got me started.
I think this was just one of those games the Cowboys didn't belong there. Everybody in America would have been screaming this if this was a real life thing. Like, they won off a Hail Mary last week. to one of the top teams in the NFC, and then come out here and put 3 points on the board, you blame the Packers. Packers should have handled business.
You sit there just talking. Yeah, man, what you want me to do? Turn up? Yeah, like, yeah, we just going over the games, trying to get out some life and try to be chill. This shit's horrible. Now,
I was about to say, I really could say a lot more. This nigga's in the playoffs with 3 points, but we already talked about that in the wild card. He's here, but yeah, this just reflects more that the Packers should have handled their business. Like, I know the Packers looking at that, I'd be feeling the same thing. Like, damn, like that nigga put up 3 and that nigga beat me.
Swear to God, never
when
again.
it come down to the get down, like,
Packers,
yeah, we ain't talking about no regular season.
Yeah,
we ain't talking about no regular season game where you can just play another game. Like, to get down to the get down.
These niggas is hilarious in the comments.
I put up 14 points. This nigga beat me off a Hail Mary.
Right.
Then this nigga next week puts 3 points up on the board. I feel some type of way.
That makes a ton of sense. But anyway, off that game, bro. Onto the game that really mattered. Them Commanders, they faced off with them Panthers. And Tug took the fuck off on him, White.
Yeah, I didn't catch the beginning of this, but I just don't think he bullshit around. Took the gun game out of it early.
Send me a phone class, Trouble Man 4.
He threw for 320 Panthers, which obviously his game is a pass. I mean, it's a run. So he was down 17-0 going into half. At that point, Tugi's on cruise control. Like, and then 9 turnovers to 2. This was never really a ball game, quite frankly.
At all.
Yeah, like, if Tugi would have lost, actually, I would never speak highly on Tugi again.
I don't think he was going to lose to him because of the way he's seen the Bucks lose to him. He probably just like, I'm not going to play with the came in on stood on business type shit. Like.
Came in, took him out of his game early. Because go to the Russian, I bet you what's under probably like 5 yards. Probably under 5 yards to carry.
Cool.
Whatever running back is. Yeah, 4.2. This is couple carries, third down, throw, might have been a pick, turnover, Tugi scored. Now that's at 3 carries, come back, maybe a couple carries more, try to do something. Nothing. Turnover again, or punt, whatever the case, touchdown, Commanders. And then after a while, you're down 14, you're not going to run the ball as much. Maybe when you got in the red zone, it looks like a couple times, and then that was it. So.
Oh, yeah, they did play. That did help, too. He played in Week 17, so he kind of knew what to expect. Shotting. Well, that's where the Panthers, I feel like that's where he had the advantage. Like, you didn't know what kind of game plan he was coming with here. You played a guy. You had to play him again with him like a matter
like when you run the ball, you always can dictate the game. People will do obscene things to stop the run. 5 linemen, 8 in the box, 9 in the box. You kind of control the game most of the time when you run the ball or when you're a runner. To me, at least.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Down to your game, man. Them Jets and them Jags. He feel like he shouldn't have lost this game. I feel like you had full control of this game, man.
I mean, yeah. When I rewatched the whole game early, it's a real football game. I go down, get 3, cool drive. He responds kind of quick, bomb the squirrel right. I respond, full drive, running the ball, touchdown again. He puts on the touchdown, leaves me with like 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left. I go down trying to get 3.
That's when you
I get a touchdown.
Post.
Yeah,
that's
that post. Yeah. I get I go back to back Brian Thomas. I go Brian Thomas middle of the field.
He plays that draw up too, just like
he he plays a prevent kind of style, middle of the field wide open, drop down. Like, that's football. Like, at this point, that's when football is really kicked in. Like, he scored twice with ease, kind of like long passes, like a seam to Kyle Pitts up the middle of the field. Easy touchdown, like easy touchdown.
Yeah, your safety was nowhere to be found on that play. I remember that
Squirrel White, far left side of the field, like a wheel fade route kind of touchdown. Those are easy plays. Like, no drive was needed. Nothing was needed to be put on.
Nobody turned the ball over. Y'all both played clean.
Now, we played a hell of a game. I just didn't let him keep getting the ball to keep trying to throw that bitch down the field to squirrel right. Like, I'm not finna do that. Like, I'm not finna do that with you. So then the touchdown before half, he said was bullshit. I don't see how in all of the like plays that this nigga Donnie has throughout his year that's a bullshit. Like, won't no ability, won't no double triple catch, no bounce up in the air and da da da. I ain't even mossed that nigga like T Higgins be mossing some of these niggas on some bullshit. That was just a dollar. I just threw to an open spot and made that nigga go get it. Before half, he comes out, he goes down, he gets 3. We're tied up now. And then after that, we both get basically a possession to it. We get a couple possessions, but the stop was when I got the stop in the middle of the field, and he was going for it on 4th. He tried to roll out, throw a Kyle Pitts corner out to the right. He got sacked. At that point, at 5 minutes, the game was basically like, I knew that I had to either put one last drive on to try to kill from 5 minutes down, or I had to score quick enough to know that like he's gonna get the ball and I need to get the ball back no matter what.
Right.
Regular football we're playing at this point. No bullshit plays, no bullshit acrobats, no bullshit abilities. Like, no bullshit. We go, I score, he scores. I give him the ball with 1:30 seconds, damn near. 2 minutes. It was actually 2 minutes and like 20 seconds because he gets a 2-minute warning. He goes down, takes his drive time, throws a laser beam corner route, or it was actually an out route. It was like a speed out route that was slid up to like 12 yards and left me 16. No, 16 seconds was the first half. The second half, he left me 20. For the game, he left me 22 seconds because the first, I fair catch, first play I call takes 3 seconds and it's an incomplete pass. Then at 19 seconds is where I throw corner out Evan Ingram. I throw another pass, check down. Or I throw the slant to Trav. And then it's 9 or 6 seconds left. And then the dial up for the game. Like, honestly, there's no bullshit in the game. It's no different than him and Craig having the ball last. We didn't have turnovers.
Right.
And if anything, the game almost was gave to him because I had a big ass drop on 3rd and 13. That little Rondell Moore whip route, I threw a fucking blue and this nigga's butt naked and they made this shit go into the dirt. Other than that, it was just control the football game. Like, I don't let anybody big do nothing. Squirrel had his one big play. Everything else was, and Kyle Pitts had the one big play of 64 yards, which happened in the first half. Everything else, all like Squirrel and Kyle Pitts' big play, happened in the first half. Keyshawn's touchdown, the 23-yard joint, that's the second half play.
Okay.
That's the touchdown. So like everything else other than it was an out. I went back and looked. It was an out route, but it was like a speed out because he threw it early. Once he got out the break, he threw it early, and it trailed like a corner route. But honestly, other than that, like those are 3 big plays. If you look at those and take away the stats, the game really wasn't like a complete game from Donnie. He kind of stayed alive with a couple big plays, and then when it got down to him driving, it got stopped by a punt, and then it got stopped by a 4th down conversion where he went for it on 4th and 7. On the flip end, I didn't throw no crazy passes. I threw what was open. I ran the ball. He never stopped running the ball. Stopped me from running the ball. So when it came down to like me needing to manipulate the clock however I want for an explosive offense, it really wasn't that hard because I've been running the ball all playoffs. I gave you 14 carries. I gave Ray 14 carries for like 70, 80 yards. You, same shit. I gave Donnie same shit. And in the Super Bowl, I did the same shit. So
you went overboard in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Lead us into that. I feel like that was the greatest. I feel like this right here was the best game of the whole playoffs, the Jets and the Jags. I feel like Donnie's best game was against the Bills when he came.
That's the thing, yeah. Like the best true game, I think, was me and Donnie's. Donnie's best game, just because of like the way he likes to play and output, is the Bills game.
Which leads into the Super Bowl between the 1 and the 3. Jazz versus the Commanders. You walk me through this. I was kind of watching, but I was shopping too at the same time, so I was kind of in and out. Plus, his Twitch kept wanting ads and shit, and that's annoying a little bit. I know you gotta get paid, some respect, but.
So yeah, I be trying to just not say nothing through the whole shit when I go through the ads feel, cause it be like, damn, that's that nigga's like that nigga trying to do something with his
Some
shit.
bread, yeah, never getting away niggas bread, but.
Two got the ball, moving the ball fluid as fuck. First drive, I was literally just praying to get 3, and that's what we did. I mean, praying for him to get 3, and that's what we held him to. He went from like 6 minutes down to like minute 30. Clock control. Makes sense. Got a good running back, got a good tight end, got a good slot receiver. You're gonna control the clock.
Right.
I respond doing the same shit, except I didn't throw a fucking pass the first drive. And that right there dictated how the rest of the game was finna go. First drive, the first 3 carries, Travis Etienne got 60 yards. I gave him 3 more carries, we scored. I said, damn, I didn't throw the ball the whole first drive. I said, well, if I don't get stopped running the ball, I am not going to throw it. And I decided from that moment on that that's how we was going to play football. I go out, I get a stop, I respond. Oh, I get a pick. Tougie second drive. I get the ball at the 44-yard line. Run. Touchdown. He gets the ball. He doesn't score before half. I get the ball coming out of half. Nice little calm, cool drive. Touchdown. 21-3. At that point, it's just be safe. We're up 21-3 in the Super Bowl in the third quarter with like 3 minutes left. The only thing we don't need to do is nothing stupid. And then he gets a turnover because we do fumble. We did like a jet touch to Rondell, trying to score again, trying to close it to like 28-3. We're still milking the clock though. Fumbles, he goes down, he scores. So then it's 21-10. I go down with a slow cook drive, score. And then I get a stop, I score again. And then he scores at the end, 35-17. It was really like I think Travis Etienne from the start of the game was basically averaging plus 7 yards a carry. There was legitimately no reason. Yeah, there was legitimately no reason for me to throw the ball.
22 for 215, yeah.
Yeah, there was no reason for me to move the ball. Like I didn't need to. When I threw the ball, it was because I noticed that Tougie would come out in 5 down linemen because obviously I kept running the fucking ball. So it came out like 5-2 or 4-6, and then I would throw the ball, and honestly he'd be a man because most people are going to be a man when you sit there and run the fucking ball all day. And I just threw drags. I threw like 3 drags, and then I threw a running back flat route, 2 drags, a drag to my tight end, a corner route, maybe even might have been a dig. I might have threw like a dig, and that was it. Like, I ran the ball for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and your defense did what it needed to do against Singleton, hold him to fucking 57 yards. So it was like,
yeah, name of the game was Singleton. Man up, Cooper Kupp every fucking play. I don't give a fuck what coverage we are, and then I'm gonna play the tight end.
I didn't even know you had Cooper Kupp. God damn.
Nah, he was shitting with Cooper.
Man. All in all, man, hell of a fucking year, man. Congrats to them commissions, man. Both of them, man, they made it to the bowl. They did their thing. Nothing short of amazing, man. This upcoming draft, everybody's gonna get some quality players. Like, cause I made this draft I made this class in like envision for what the league is now. So a lot of the players, like, you know, for a lot of them, their speed and all that, I went off like the college game, their speed on college. Like, I just went over to that game, looked at the first year what their speeds was and all that, and that's their speed on in this draft class. I mean, so I mean that's some free scouting advice too for those who got college. We're gonna advance now. So, what I want to do is...
Yeah, it's a new low for me, Rob. Like, it's a high because I'm a champ, but, like, that's a new low for me.
You know what I said in my head when I was watching you play? I was like, yeah, you're playing like Ant.
Bro, yo. That's what. But when I got out the game, I was like, this is so disgusting. I was like, bro, I can't even tell this nigga and about this shit, bro. Like, I didn't even touch 50 yards, 48 yards. That's so like fucking nasty, bro. Like,
Man,
that's so nasty.
it's the resign stage.
Nah, it's staff week.
Staff week. You gonna go to resign? I ain't gonna. Let me do my little punk ass upgrades.
Make a splash and upgrade the roster. Oh yeah, we finna do that. We finna make a splash. We finna make a splash. What position are we finna upgrade? I don't want to put nobody under the bus, so I'm gonna just say overall talent on defense. Hey, Zada, send them Detroit boys. Zada.
They might have to take a step back this year.
It said trade. It said since I said it was upgrading roster, trade for a player above 85 overall. Oh yeah, don't worry, we bringing him in. Zada, bring that boy over.
Who was that? The boy thing in the chat. Was that y'all had your trade?
Oh, yeah, I put one in there, but me and Zada was about to work out some more shit of it, so I avoided the trade. But then we reposted it. We approved. Did you see the trade?
I did see part of it. I was shopping. So
I'm sending him
all the way up. I seen Hutchinson and I seen a couple players on your behalf.
Yeah, I'm sending him the safety, a first, second, a third, superstar DM backup for Hutch, Amron, and Brian Branch.
It's official.
Yeah, I bowed out the draft a little bit. Just a little bit.
This is the last official season before the reboot. I expect everybody to go off. Like,
yeah, I'm going.
Got.
Yeah, I'm going for the gusto. Like, I'm going for the gusto. So if it's players, if it's picks, like, I was picking at 32, both of those first and thirds, anyways. Like, value per round. My first round, there's nobody better in the D line than Aiden Hutchinson for my first round pick.
And I'm shopping off guys too. We in talks with the safety, I believe. And I think we're in talks with Taz. But there's still a couple of guys over here. I'm not.
If they don't, ain't nobody voting nothing about ain't nobody at the safety yet. And then Rock, honestly, it just depends. I gotta circle back around what it looked like when Amron get back on the roster, because I was supposed to go get Debo, but them Niners was over there taxing.
No,
fuck them Niners. Man, he was trying to get my first and then like one of my top linemen for fucking Debo. Like, niggas are running back. So I went and got my boy Amron, a real receiver and shit.
Who wanna resign back?
Like, niggas was talking about like my slot receiver all year Rob was fucking Rondell Moore, bro.
Crazy work. Bunch of no boys. Michael Pierce, you a little older.
That's my guy though. Rondell, he kept himself for another year though. I'd say that.
I think he want 10 million. Oh, bro, I don't want you to go to Keaton Mitchell. He fast as hell. He little though. I don't see myself giving you 10 mil, bro.
So Donnie moved up to 2. What you think about Donnie's trade? He let go of Sauce and Trey Anderson and move up to 2. There's some other shit in the trade, of course, but like the basis of it is.
I think I know where Donnie's going. I know he's going receiver.
He's definitely going either Jeremiah or I would assume Ryan, just because of the way his play style is. But like, I think Jeremiah is the more complete receiver.
That trade's finalized. Let me open the trade. Shit. What do you think talking about that? Let me open that up.
This nigga Bland won't trying to sign with us, bro. I just had to change his motivation to. They just had a scenario come up. I just changed his motivation to championship. That nigga finna take a pay cut. So nice of him, bro. Appreciate you, my man.
So we're gonna use this time, re-sign y'all players, get y'all trades finalized, and start sending them over. I really want to go to free agency too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to get the Sunday players. It ain't open. Let me see. How the fuck I ain't on this shit right, Max? Let me see.
Free agency?
Oh well, free agency. Yeah, the week 2.
The trade. Oh, you mean like cut the? Well, hold on. What are you trying to do?
First of all, I'm trying to open up trades. I just turned the trade deadline off, and that should be good enough to open it up, right?
Yeah, you cut trade deadline off. Yeah. So there's no deadline. Yeah.
That should be good. So let me see.
It should, but like we're in the re-sign stage. You should be able to re-sign niggas at this stage.
Well, I'll tell you what. Re-sign now.
I mean, not re-sign, trade. Yeah, you can trade. You just gotta click on the player.
Let me sort of.
It doesn't say trade. It doesn't say trade center. You just gotta click on the player. Zada, I'm finna send this shit through, buddy. This shit is actually very sickening to see my picks go like this, but I'm hoping for a good year, because you know me, man. I like to get in the draft for real. The draft is the reason why I'm at where I'm at now. Travis Hunter, some of these linemen.
Devontae is about to be a fucking commander.
Donovan Edwards and shit, like.
Why the fuck is Jake Bobo on my roster?
Donovan Edwards was low-key nice for me. I didn't think he was gonna be that nice for me, Rob.
The Donovan Edwards?
Yeah, remember I was talking about him and Mullins when I first got him. I was like, I don't know. Got both the Michigan boys. So you feel like Donnie's trade is like a good trade, though? You feel like it's gonna set him back? I feel like it's gonna set him back a little bit, if I'm being real. Like,
it was Sauce and who?
Sauce and Troy Anderson. I think those are just key.
But then he
like,
transferred Louvu and
I mean, Louvu's a star, and he ain't Troy Anderson. And then he's letting up another safety with that deal. Like, he's letting up Jalen. No, he's letting up a receiver. He's letting up a receiver with that deal. Now he's letting up Sauce and then Troy. He's getting back some shit, but he's in a trade later to get a star linebacker and a star safety. I just feel like Sauce's impact on the game is just far greater than like the second pick in whatever this draft is. Like, whoever it is going to be, I just feel like his impact is far greater than that. So Troy Anderson, considering he built it out the mud, like he got him from a 69 overall or whatever to whatever he is, then, you know.
To 94. And you giving it up essentially for what, a receiver? Or for a second pick? He took the second pick, so.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. You do that, you make that move because you got one guy that you just know you gotta have. But again, this draft is like, there's no shortage on great players in this draft. It's just that, like I said, there's two guys who are legit 90 coming out this draft. One. So if you want one of them two guys, okay, cool, I get it. But if you're not, and you just got your eye on somebody else because you think he's fast or whatever, you know what I'm saying, got in your head, and you're giving up somebody like Sauce and Lou and getting back essentially, downgrades if we're being honest.
I just feel like like it's just gonna be big. That's a big part. Like that's a nigga that's on the game, on the team to start, high overall, high awareness. Not to mention his physical likeness of just 6'2", how like tall that nigga is, where he can be, and then his actual skill, and then the gelness with his offense. I mean the defense.
And
Like that's a nigga that's
gel. He's good enough by himself to warrant that too. So you just gave up two players.
I feel like exactly. I feel like Sauce by himself. I would have just lightened the deal. I would have done Sauce for like the second pick and like maybe a second,
like
the first round, maybe.
For measure or something like that. Like, but two players in the 90s.
Yeah, I probably would have pushed the bump for like a first and like a fourth for real. I don't care that your pick is second. Sauce is better than everybody in the draft. Point blank. Period. Like he's better than everybody in the draft. So like, what are we really like? I just think it was an oversell to jump down. He collected some picks, but Donnie was one game away. The way I see it is Donnie was one game away from a championship, and he just gave up Sauce Gardner and Troy Anderson for some rookies. They gonna be nice, but they gonna be rookies.
That's like a negative 30.
I gotta do my restructure on Trevor so I can get some of this money back.
Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. We're in reset stage. I don't think we're gonna sit here throughout the night, though. I'm gonna let y'all stand. I'm gonna put a poll up, and I think we're gonna say in free agency week 2 to be exact, but I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna talk to Craig. If we do draft on Sunday, despite my Ravens playing at 4 o'clock, I think we're going to start the process of like free agency and all that early, like somewhere in between like the Steeler halftime, heading into the Raven game, and then like a draft around like 5:36. Cause I want to start that league tomorrow. I don't want to sit there and wait overnight. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like that's just too much. Like I go to work from 11 to 8. Like
yeah, there should be no reason why
we can't do that shit during free agency and all that.
Yeah, like I really feel like we should. Like y'all got the party
I'm really ready to tell Craig to this board for real, because even though he gonna be running around like there,
or just do like what time y'all about to be done at night? That's the real thing. Or we could do the free agency during the day. Me and two can run the free agency. It's not like neither one of y'all niggas is about to be in free agency for real. I can run the free agency, and then we could do the draft at night. That way Sunday to start, we do a show, and we got all day Sunday to like start the league as far as like week 1.
True.
Saturday night is, I feel like mostly, if we can't get it Saturday early and squeeze out free agency in little like 30-minute tidbits, then I feel like we should do a Saturday night draft. And it's just like niggas is either gonna be waiting. Then you could poll it like that. Like, do either niggas want to wait till Sunday, or since y'all want to press it so much, like we could do Saturday night, but it might be late. It might be, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Got all day to set your board, all day to make your arrangements.
Right. Even if we do, alright, so we could do like I could
get your lady tucked in by 10:30, 11, whatever the case be, whatever you gotta do, my boy. Like,
or even if we don't do the draft, we get to take care of free agency all day tomorrow too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at least that way, when the draft is ready, we can get some downtime. We can just run the draft.
Alright, so I think that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and took you a hell of a year to you.
Appreciate you, my boy.
You resign. I'm about to pull the poll up, and when I get I'm done from all 31, 32 members or whatever, I'll then advance to week 2 for agency, and we'll sit there overnight. And tomorrow morning, you know what I'm saying, me or Max will get the running that process of free agency, and then we'll sit at start the draft overnight again, and then like we'll just go from there. That way we can just walk right into a draft, and then walk into the draft, get everybody situated, get all the points evaluated because we still got points from shows to give, and start the league.
Jared gonna get the playoff points tomorrow. He said.
Yeah, so that sounds good. If y'all having cap problems, I think so far it's only the Packers. We're gonna really, it's the last season, so I ain't really tripping out. I don't mind relieving y'all if y'all having cap issues.
I think it's Adam messaged me back. I'm trying to look at these players on my roster.
And for this, we're gonna reboot after this season. We're gonna play one more season with these teams, and then we're gonna reboot. Craig will more than likely say AFC. Me and Max are probably gonna go NFC. Craig gave up his team this league, so I gotta give up my team next. It's only right. I fucking hate it, but it's only right. Cause I ain't that scared of Craig. I ain't scared to play Craig. I'll keep the Ravens if I want it. Like, it's so hard to get me away from them niggas, but I definitely need a new scenery. Lamar be selling me sometimes. Love the nigga to death. Alright. So just the Packers, okay. Alright, y'all get y'all players reset. I'll let you know what the gift is for this when we done with everything else. Alright, y'all.